Welcome back to our YouTube channel, where we dive into thought-provoking research topics. Today, we're delving into an issue of paramount importance: arms exports from Russia and Ukraine and global security. We'll investigate the impact of arms exports from both Russia and Ukraine on global security. Let's begin by discussing why this research topic is so crucial. Importance of the research topic. The arms trade between countries is a complex and sensitive issue that has far-reaching implications for global security. Russia and Ukraine are two significant players in this trade, and their export decisions can either stabilize or destabilize regions across the world. Understanding the consequences of their arms exports is essential for several reasons. Effective control and regulation of arms exports can help prevent conflicts and reduce violence globally. Uncontrolled arms transfers can fuel regional tensions and contribute to armed conflicts. Arms exports from Russia and Ukraine often find their way to conflict-prone regions, potentially exacerbating instability. It is essential to examine how these exports impact regional stability. These exports influence diplomatic relationships between countries. By studying their effects, we gain insights into the complex dynamics of international politics. The arms trade has significant humanitarian implications, including civilian casualties and displacement. Research in this area can shed light on these often overlooked consequences. Chapter 1 Introduction. In any research project, the first chapter, the introduction, plays a critical role in setting the stage. Here's how you can draft Chapter 1 for your research on arms exports. Research problem. An example of a research problem could be: the unchecked arms exports from Russia and Ukraine have the potential to destabilize global security, but the precise impact of these exports remains poorly understood. Research significance. Explain why your research is significant. For instance, this research is essential as it can inform policymakers and international organizations about the need for more robust regulations and diplomatic efforts to control arms exports. Research questions. Provide 3 sample research questions. What is the volume and type of arms exported by Russia and Ukraine to various regions? How do arms exports from these countries affect regional security? What are the policy implications of the findings for global security? Research objectives. Offer 3 sample research objectives. To analyze the trends and patterns in arms exports from Russia and Ukraine. To assess the impact of these exports on regional security dynamics. To recommend policy measures to mitigate negative consequences. Research rationale. An example of research rationale. This research is motivated by the need to address the existing knowledge gap regarding the impact of arms exports from Russia and Ukraine on global security, with a focus on practical policy recommendations. Chapter 2 Literature review. The literature review is vital for understanding the existing body of knowledge on your topic. For your research, suitable subtopics might include: arms trade regulations discuss existing international treaties and agreements related to arms exports, like the Arms Trade Treaty. Historical context examine historical cases where arms exports had significant global security impacts, such as the Cold War. Regional case studies explore how arms exports from Russia and Ukraine have influenced specific regions, like the Middle East or Eastern Europe. Theories and models consider theories like the security dilemma or balance of power, which can help explain the dynamics of arms exports. As for theories and models, here are a couple of examples. Security dilemma. This theory suggests that when one state increases its security, as an example through arms exports, it can lead others to feel less secure, potentially sparking an arms race. An example could be the USA and Soviet arms race during the Cold War. Balance of power. This theory posits that a balance of power between states prevents conflict. When one state becomes too powerful, perhaps due to arms exports, it can disrupt this balance. The rise of Nazi Germany before World War II is a historical example. Literature gap. To identify a literature gap, analyze existing research and pinpoint areas where information is lacking. For instance, there might be limited research on the impact of recent arms exports from Ukraine, which is an emerging concern. Chapter 3 Methodology. Chapter 3, the methodology section, outlines how you plan to conduct your research. Here's how you can draft it. Conceptual framework. Design a framework with 3 independent variables. As an example, volume of arms exports, destination regions, and types of weapons, and a dependent variable, global security stability. Research philosophy. For this type of research, a critical realism research philosophy can be suitable, as it acknowledges the complex and dynamic nature of international relations. Research approach. Consider an inductive approach, as it allows you to develop theories from empirical observations. Research strategy. Use a mixed methods approach to gather both quantitative data, as an example export statistics, and qualitative data, as an example interviews with policymakers. Data analysis method. Given the nature of the topic, a mixed methods approach combining quantitative data analysis, as an example statistical analysis of arms export trends, and qualitative data analysis, thematic analysis of interview transcripts, may be appropriate. Ethical considerations. Discuss ethical considerations, such as obtaining informed consent from interviewees and ensuring data privacy. For example, anonymizing sensitive data from interviews is crucial. Limitations and delimitations. Acknowledge potential limitations, such as data availability constraints, and delimit the scope of your research to a specific timeframe or region. Chapter 4 Data Analysis. In Chapter 4, you'll conduct data analysis based on your methodology. If it's quantitative, explain how to analyze. Quantitative analysis. For example, when analyzing arms export data, determine a suitable sample size based on statistical power calculations to ensure your findings are statistically significant. Qualitative analysis. When working with qualitative data, consider sample size as well. Thematic analysis may involve coding interview transcripts and identifying recurring themes. Chapter 5 Conclusion. The conclusion chapter ties everything together. Explain the importance of this chapter as it allows you to summarize your research findings, revisit your research questions and objectives, discuss the implications of your research for global security. Chapter 6 Recommendations. In the Recommendations chapter, you can propose policy recommendations based on your research findings. For example, recommend stricter arms export controls. Suggest diplomatic measures to promote global security. Call for further research in specific areas. Suggestions for future research. Finally, here are some suggestions for future research. Investigate the role of emerging arms exporters in global security, such as China and Turkey. Explore the impact of technological advancements, such as autonomous weapons, on arms exports and global security. Analyze the effectiveness of international arms control agreements in preventing arms proliferation. Thank you for joining us in exploring this crucial research topic. Remember, understanding the implications of arms exports on global security is essential for building a more peaceful world. If you found this video informative, please like, share,